Hello, my name is Ronnie Crutchella Bay, your favourite Drag Mob Boss's favourite Drag Mob Boss, and welcome to Ronnie Bay's Mob Movie Breakdown. Mm. So, as some of you may know, my drag persona, my drag name, I am named after the mob boss, the gangster that was Ronnie Kray. If you didn't know that, then yeah, now you know. Uh, I am a big fan of Tom Hardy movies and I'm a big fan of gangster movies. So, yeah, if you're ready for it, then I'm going to break down the movie that, if it didn't exist, well, possibly, because he was a real person. Um, I most likely wouldn't have taken this name because of the iconic performances that are in this film, and that is the movie Legend. And in my opinion, it is a legendary film. Uh, I love this film so much. I've watched it about maybe 6 or 7 times, something like that. And if you're not a fan of mob movies and mob history, then why aren't you, first of all? And secondly, these glasses are the exact replica glasses that Ronnie Kray used to wear. So strap yourselves in for some facts and fun stuff, really. Uh, so, this film is based around two London gangsters, Ronnie and Reggie Kray, and it is told uh, in the perspective of Reggie's future partner, because obviously in the past, um, it's like a gradual meet cute. It's hardly a meet cute. Francis. Her name's Francis. Hello, Francis, as Ronnie would say. And yeah, it's a very gritty atmosphere that the twins come from, but they were able to make this world their own and really they don't feel ashamed of where they're from. Quite right too, and they did originate as bare knuckle boxers, and then they sort of went into the crime world, and that is where they really sealed their legacy as the Kray twins, the basically the kings of London, which is really something. And we also have on a side note, Francis is played by the wonderful Emily Browning, who you may have seen in movies like Sucker Punch, and Cray twins are played by um, Tom Hardy, both of them. And I think that really works because sometimes you get a bit thrown off because in movies like The Krays with Martin and Gary Kemp, it just felt a bit off. And also, there was that god awful Kray movie, the Rise of the Krays, and then the Fall of the Krays. Both off. Like I saw one of them, and that was enough for me. Um, yeah, uh, and I think the fact that they are played by the same person who look exactly the same because obviously they're the same person, and I think Tom Hardy emulated that toughness of both of them perfectly, yet defining both characters very differently. And I think that's exactly what you needed for those characters. And Francis, was just, yeah, brilliant performance. Yeah, being caught in this life and of being a mob wife and just having, you know, um, just everything hit them like that and just being around such dangerous people. And We also have performances from Christopher Eccleston as Nipper Reed, the detective who was trying to take him down. Um, he's kind of a smaller role in the film, but you do feel his presence. But in the film, you just feel like he is not really much of a threat. And uh, let's face it, like they weren't really back then. If it wasn't for um, Ronnie being so erratic, it probably would have went on for a very long time. But yeah, Reggie went to prison multiple times for multiple reasons, and you see how dominant he is in prison. Without getting into the shower stuff, that would have been Ronnie. Uh, but yeah, he instantly on this first day he ends up beating the ever loving shirt off a police officer who in the prison. And yeah, these characters, you feel like if you met them, you just wouldn't want to mess with them. And in some versions of the craze that you see, you just don't feel that. You really don't. Um, I think another good version of this is the Craig Parkinson version from Whitechapel. Um, it was a tough act to follow in Whitechapel, where um, they had the crate that they had not the Cray twins, they had Jack the Ripper in the first one, so like they needed some other kind of really formidable London um, gang like criminals, and I think he really nailed that, playing like distant relatives of the Krays. If you hear some squeaking, then that's my heels. Um, and yeah, that was a hell of a performance. Also, when they were in Line of Duty as Dot Cotton, my God. Side note, but absolutely phenomenal. But the Krays, they end up taking over more and more parts of London, um, getting clubs that have people like Barbara Windsor coming into, which is pretty big thing. Big star. Carry on films and all that. Yeah, and also speaking of people who are in the club, Duffy is absolutely the soundtrack. Is I love it. I I listen to it quite a lot. Um, Especially her version of Elvis's "Make the World Go Away." I think is absolutely stunning. Um, I would hugely suggest that. I think Duffy is an incredibly underrated artist. I mean, I know she had a lot of big hits like Mercy and those kind of things, but then in this film, she also does one of the main songs, "Whole Lot of Love." Not the Led Zeppelin one. It's a different song. It's brilliant. There's a quote in the film where Francis says, "It took a whole lot of love to hate you the way I do," and um, and those lyrics are put into the song, and it's just I don't know if she wrote it or not, but it was absolutely wonderful. And I isn't Duffy great? I'd love to see a massive comeback of Duffy. I know she went through a lot, but like she's what an icon, honestly. Um, I really need to go to see Duffy sometime. That's a side note. Like that just came into my head. I love it. And also another casting choice which I absolutely love is Chaz Palminteri um, in this film as one sec. Angelo Bruno. You know what's weird? I always thought he was playing Mario Lansky in that. because Malinsky did come over and sort of negotiate with the Krays as well about maybe expanding. But yeah, I absolutely loved him in the movie Bronx Tale. The fact that that was semi-autobiographic was like that's another mob film I will probably end up talking about because I'm going to do these more. Um, he was great in it. I think the character that he was playing, the mob boss was actually nicknamed Gentle. So the fact that he it felt right because there were scenes like when um, Ronnie says, "I prefer boys." Um, it's there's some moments where like you just got you got some balls to say that to me, and like that kind of thing, like in like a really kind of like more like gentle way. I think it was yeah, I think it worked. Uh, saying gentle again. But he's a fantastic mob actor. I think he's one of the best we've got actually. But what more can I say about this film? I think adding in well, like all the characters you'd want, like Jack the Hat McVitie, who obviously got killed by Ronnie, and no, it was Reggie even. Sorry, and sort of like led to the downfall and just the general analyzation of Ronnie's madness in it, and the fact that like they just go straight into it, like when he's in the asylum, just go give wrong cry your sausage, which I have said multiple times in bed. No, I haven't. I haven't. If you want me to, then no. um, but yeah, I love this film. It's just so iconic, and it just really well done, and like with just even like the gang rivalries and stuff you see, and like the action sequences with of course there is the um, schizophrenic walks into a bar is just a phenomenal scene. One of my favorites. Uh, like there's loads of iconic lines in that scene. It's like, "What are you, Fanny Craddock? You gotta bake me a cake," and like that kind of thing. It's just, oh, it makes me want to watch the film just talking about it. And yeah, I hugely suggest Legend because it is a legendary film with a legendary cast, and you'd be mad not to go and see it. So um, let me know what you would like me to talk about next movie wise, and yeah, I will absolutely um, try my best to do these more often. And um, and for now, goodbye, Francis.